since Derek Carr dislocated that pinky in his throwing hand. Since then, every snap he's taken has been out of the shotgun or pistol formation. Carr did tell us that that finger is healed well enough to grip the ball like he normally does, and that soreness is now the only issue. And he said he does feel comfortable taking snaps under center tonight if the Raiders choose to do so. Now for some injury updates. Oakland certainly compromised on the defensive side of the ball. 2 tackles are out, Stacey McGee and Darius Latham, as well as safety Carl Joseph, who is second on the team in tackles. And now a late scratch starting left guard. Alessio Simile is out. Vidal Alexander gets the start. The Chiefs are certainly boosted on offense by the return of wide receiver Jeremy Maclin, who missed the last 4 games due to a groin injury, Al.
All right, thank you, Heather. Let's take a look at the standings. Oakland at 10-2, so they would have identical records if Kansas City wins, but they will have the tiebreaker because they will have won both games in the season series. Denver 8-4 right now. They play Sunday against Tennessee. San Diego 5-7. So we're ready to go. Jack Del Rio in his second year in Oakland, and you saw Andy Reid, 4th year in Kansas City. Chiefs won the toss. They defer. Cairo Santos, who won that Sunday night game with that Karam field goal in Denver in overtime. Back to receive Jalen Richard, a rookie out of Southern Mississippi, who's already made quite a splash. So Arrowhead Stadium, as usual, packed to the gills in Kansas City. And off we go on Thursday Night Football. 9-yard line with Richard coming up the middle and then taken down at the 23-yard line by Daniel Sorensen. And let's take a look at the Oakland starters.
Derek Carr, Fresno State.
Latavius Murray, Central Florida.
Jamaze Olawale, University of North Texas.
Michael Crabtree, Dallas native, Texas Tech.
Amari Cooper, Alabama.
Claude Walford, the U.
Donald Penn, Utah State.
Vidal Alexander, LSU.
Rodney Hudson, Florida State.
Gabe Jackson, Mississippi State.
Austin Howard, Northern Iowa.
Now that Vidal Alexander, a rookie out of LSU, that's big. Heather talking about Osemele ill, so he's not starting tonight. He's inactive. And slipping is Latavius Murray as he took the handoff at the 23-yard line. Justin Houston makes the tackle. There are the numbers on Carr, 4th in the league in yards, and that's a terrific touchdown interception ratio. Anytime you're close to 5-1, that's great. 24 TD passes, 5 interceptions. And again, he will, as Heather said, we'll see if he goes under center tonight, but pistol and shotgun since the injury against Carolina. And that pass is caught at the 26-yard line. That's Michael Crabtree holding it in up there, and that will set up a 3rd down and 7.
All right, there's Derek Carr, and you'll see that he really does not want to put that pinky on there. He gave us a heavy sales job. Oh yeah, no problem at all. The pinky's fine. I can take a snap under center. Here he is back in shotgun, and I'm sure it's good enough to play. We saw him throw the ball very well last week, but I'm just as sure that thing's still sore.
Yeah, he said by far the most pain he's ever been in when that happened. 3rd and 7, and he throws deep downfield, and it's incomplete. Intended for Crabtree along the sideline. Terrence Mitchell back there covering, and so the Raiders start with a 3-and-out.
Well, this Kansas City defense can certainly make plays, and on that very first series here, they came out, played straight man-to-man coverage. They're going to challenge these young, talented wide receivers and playmakers of the Raiders.
Now you've got one of the best punters in the league and one of the best young returners in the league. Tyreek Hill, the rookie. Marquette King to send it down toward him. And King with a high, not particularly deep boot that is dropped at the 38-yard line by Hill. And he should be at the bottom of the pile with it, but we'll take a look and see. So Hill came running up into traffic. The kick was not that long.
Hill's not a very big guy. He might have had a tough time hanging on to it at the bottom of that pile.
And indeed, that's going to be, as soon as Terry McCauley tells us, Terry McCauley has not made the call yet, and now he does. So Hill muffs it, and turns it over.
No question of the muff, but it looked like he fell right on top of it, and what happened from there went right between his legs. Until you've had a couple of plays out there in this kind of weather, you just are uncomfortable, and that's the rookie. James Cowser had a sack last week in the game, comes up with that big fumble recovery.
At the 38-yard line. So after stopping them on a 3-and-out, Cowser, another big play. That sack, as Chris said last week. Back they come out of the pistol this time. Murray is the back. Split Crabtree out to the right, Cooper to the left. Carr under pressure, gets hit as he throws into traffic, and it's incomplete. Intended for Seth Roberts. Chris Jones put the pressure on the rookie number 2 pick out of Mississippi State.
Yeah, and right over Vidal Alexander here, who is replacing Kelechi Osemele. Absolutely one of the best that there is. And there at the left guard position is Vidal Alexander, and he was beaten quickly by Chris Jones. Let's give Chris Jones some credit too. He's been playing fantastic football over the past month.
Yeah, he went to Mississippi State and he played with a guy by the name of Dak Prescott, who we're going to see on Sunday night when the Cowboys take on the Giants. Pretty good pair to draw to. 2nd and 10. Murray patiently around the outside to the 33, and we'll take a look at the Kansas City defense.
Raheem Nunez Roches, Southern Miss.
Dontari Poe, Memphis, Tennessee.
Chris Jones, Mississippi State.
Justin Houston, Georgia.
Derek Johnson, Texas.
Ramake Wilson, Georgia.
D Ford, Auburn University.
Marcus Peters, West Oakland, California.
Eric Berry, Tennessee.
Ron Parker, Buford High School. Philip Gaines, Rice University.
A lot of big names on that defense. At D Ford, not one of the bigger names necessarily, but he has 10 sacks. Becoming a bigger name. And the pass is caught inbounds. That's Cooper making the catch with Marcus Peters covering on the play. That'll be a good matchup all night long.
Boy, no question about it. Marcus Peters already with 8 takeaways on the season. Top of your screen, just a little quick out. We all know about Amari Cooper, all the magic he provided at the University of Alabama. And for Marcus Peters, I've never seen a young player be on much better a roll than that young man has, both last year with 8 interceptions, already 5 this year. He takes a lot of chances for Andy Reid.
And Andy Reid is going to challenge that last play. It was 3rd and 5. And obviously he's going to challenge either the spot or whether he caught it and held it in bounds.
He dragged that back foot.
He did.
I'm not sure he did. Let's take a look. Well, that's 1 foot down, so the foot was down initially, but not on the second one. I think that's what Andy Reid saw.
Could be challenging that, could be challenging the spot. Regardless, McCauley will have it for it when we come back. Terry McCauley with the call.
After you, receiver got 2 feet down in bounds with control. It is a catch. The spot stands. 1st down, Oakland. Kansas City is charged with their first timeout.
So in effect, when you challenge that, you can challenge 2 separate things. Number 1, was it a catch? Number 2, what about the spot? Andy loses both.
Yeah, I think Andy may have seen that second foot sort of fly out of bounds there, but he did not see right at the point of the catch that first foot down and then the second one easily down.
So here we are with 57.5 minutes left in the game, and Reid is down to 1 challenge. It's a 1st down. The ball is at the 28-yard line. And this is Murray taking it to the 24. Murray had a toe issue and did not play in that first game between these teams in October.
Well, one of the major things that you'll see up front is 6 offensive linemen playing often for the Oakland Raiders. They are a big run team. You just have to wonder tonight whether or not, with Kelechi Osemele out, who is probably the best guard or one of the 2 best guards in all of football, if all those great power runs that we saw when they played Denver are going to be in play again here tonight.
Very interesting. If you see 71 in the game, that's normally the 6th offensive lineman. Meanwhile, the pass into a lot of traffic, and if it's a completed pass, it's going to be a fumble and a recovery. The question is, with Kansas City contending they had it, so you've got another interesting situation coming up here as the field judge and the line judge get together. and another official comes in, and McCauley's going to wait for how they are going to assess it before he makes the call. A catch, a completion, and a fumble recovery. Amari Cooper caught it. Steve Nelson took it away, and of course we'll take a look at the replay to see if it stands.
Well, it looks like he lands on the belly of Nelson, and then the ball's out before anything touches down. Is it possible the shoulder touched down? Does he have control over the ball in a couple of steps? And I think it all happened while he was on Nelson's belly rolling over. So yes, that would be a fumble unless they just say that he never had control of the ball, which I guess they could.
Well, all turnovers are reviewed. So it's an official review. They check it out upstairs. Back after this.
After review, the receiver did not complete the catch upright, was going to the ground and lost the football. It is an incomplete pass. It will be 3rd and 8 on the 26-yard line. Please set the game clock to 11 minutes, 43 seconds.
So watch this in real time, and this is what they were looking at here. And normally these bang-bang plays are going to be incomplete, and that's the ruling from headquarters.
You know, it's interesting. I think the key phrase there was making the catch while going to the ground. I think you could also argue that he had the catch and was not going to the ground. It was the tackle that took him to the ground. So very close call there.
So they lose a challenge to the Chiefs. They lose what would have been a recovery. Kansas City still hasn't had the ball tonight. We're about an hour into the game. Not really. The Card throws, and that pass is juggled and incomplete at the 15-yard line. Intended there for Seth Roberts. And that's going to make it 4th down. There was a 3rd down and 8. See, now you've got 4th down, and Janikowski coming in to try to make it a 3-0 game.
Well, for the Kansas City Chiefs, after all that, to hold them to a field goal try, they have to feel pretty good about this one. They had a couple of strikes against them and still held firm, as they often do on this defensive side of the ball.
44-yard attempt for one of the best of all time. Marquette King puts it down, and Janikowski bangs it through. So 3.5 minutes into the game, the Oakland Raiders lead it 3-0. Thursday Night Football being brought to you by the new Volkswagen Golf All-Track with 4Motion all-wheel drive. By Walmart, find gifts, groceries, and more this season. By Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. And by T-Mobile, switch to the network built for unlimited data. Well, when you come to Kansas City, you know that means barbecue, you know that means tailgating, and normally the wind blows from the parking lot toward the stadium, and that's why it always smells so good in here.
Does indeed. They love it. I mean, they love, especially the night games around here, because it gives them a chance to go at it all day.
22 degrees, 3-0 is the score. Janikowski's kick will go through the end zone. And let's take a look at the Chiefs, who'll get the ball at 25.
Alex Smith, Utah.
Spencer Ware, LSU.
Chris Conley, Georgia.
Jeremy Macklin, Mizzou.
Travis Kelce, Cleveland Heights, Ohio.
Demetrius Harris, Wisconsin, Milwaukee.
Eric Fisher, Central Michigan.
Zach Fulham, Tennessee.
Mitch Morse, Missouri.
Laurent Duvernay Tardif, McGill University.
Mitchell Schwartz, Cal.
So the Kansas City Chiefs started the year 2-2, and then rolled after that bye week, won 5 in a row, and they won 7 of their last 8. Only loss in that stretch was to Tampa Bay here a couple of weeks ago. Running back is Spencer Ware. And they start with play action. And Smith is going to throw that away because Khalil Mack was right there with him. So Alex Smith completes 2/3 of his passes. Good TD interception ratio. Of course, quarterbacks don't like game manager. That's what he's been called ever since he came into the league with San Francisco as the #1 overall pick back in 2005. But he's really blossomed under this Andy Reid offense here over the past 4 seasons. 2nd down and 10. Rolling and looking, and then the pass is incomplete. Intended there for Kelsey, and let's take a look at the Oakland defense.
Jahai Ward, Fighting Illini.
Danico Autry, Mississippi State.
Dan Williams, Tennessee.
Khalil Mack, Buffalo.
Bruce Irvin, Almost Heaven, West Virginia University.
Perry Riley, LSU.
Malcolm Smith, USC.
David Emerson, North Carolina State.
Reggie Nelson, Florida. Nate Allen, South Florida.
Sean Smith, Pasadena.
And Sean Smith came over as a free agent in the offseason from Kansas City. 3rd down and 10 now from the 25. Smith, pressured, throwing downfield, 35-yard line. Chris Conley makes the catch. Beats David Amerson on the coverage. So on 3rd down, they get it downfield for 39 yards.
So many teams on 3rd and 10. These guys will just sit waiting for a comeback, a back shoulder. And the Kansas City Chiefs felt like tonight they might be able to run right by these guys in some 3rd and long situations, maybe a couple of double moves. And on the very first try, they hit it big. And there's the guy you have to stop, Khalil Mack. Well done by Mitchell Schwartz.
Conley, his 35th catch of the season, his longest reception of the year as well. Now back to the ground, and that hole closing quickly on the right side for Spencer Ware, taken down by Bruce Irvin, the former Seahawk. Gain of a couple, 2nd down.
One of the things that they're always going to try and do is run away from Khalil Mack and run at Bruce Irvin. Now, he's not a horrible run player, but he certainly is not Khalil Mack on the outside. So a lot of the formations, you'll see a lot of shifts from Kansas City like they did in the first game to try and outflank this Raiders defense. It worked well in that one. We'll see how it goes here tonight.
2nd down and 7. And through the middle goes Spencer Ware to the 30-yard line. Well, for years and years, Jamal Charles has been the guy, but he got hurt last year, and then he was hurt again early this season. So Ware has been the man. 3rd-year guy, was a free agent, played at LSU, was a quarterback in high school. So from time to time tonight, you're liable to see him lining up in the shotgun. He can do a lot of things, and one thing he can do, Chris, is catch passes for almost 14 yards per reception.
14.6 yards per catch in the NFL these days is a remarkable number for a receiver, much less a back.
And speaking of the Wildcat with Ware, here we go. And he hands it off almost on cue to Tyreek Hill, who's about a yard short of the 1st down. So Andy Reid now on a 4th down and 1. Gonna have to try to tie the game or go for it. And for the moment, he's keeping the offense out there.
Anytime you leave Khalil Mack on the end of the line of scrimmage, you better account for him because he is simply too athletic. Going to come down and make that play. We'll see if they truly go or not. Of course, Andy Reid with the fake punt for a huge play last week.
Albert Wilson took it to the end zone against Atlanta. So will they snap it? They do on 4th and 1. And trying to crawl for the 1st down is Spencer Ware. See where the forward progress gets marked here. Terry McCauley says stop the clock. Let me take a peek. Move out of the way. I want to check the official sticks. And they are short. And Kansas City is going to give the ball back to the Oakland Raiders here. Perry and Allen converge on the tackle. Tonight football is being presented by Bud Light, beer with your team on it. That's Boonville, Missouri, Warm Springs Ranch. And it's the breeding farm for the Budweiser Clydesdales. And occasionally a horse that Chris and the boys may run at Keeneland.
Ours aren't quite that fast.
So John Feliciano comes in along the offensive front, so they've already made a change there. Out of the pistol, they give the ball to Murray for about a 6-yard gain. So with Osemele ill tonight and inactive, they started Alexander, but now Feliciano, number 76, comes in along that offensive front.
Here we go right here. These two right out here are going to take care of Nunez Roches there. Sort of gets spun around, and there goes the back right by him, Latavius Murray. So they are fishing for an answer at left guard to replace one of the greats.
2nd down and 5 from the 32-yard line. And nothing happening there. That line can't open up any kind of a hole. Murray stopped for no gain. It'll be 3rd down and 5 with 7:40 to go in the opening frame. Justin Houston coming back from an injury. Took him a game to warm up, and then of course he had that big night on Sunday night against Denver in that dramatic overtime win. Great player for a lot of years. 3rd and 5. Carr pressured, escapes a sack at first, but not the second time. Justin Houston, the first guy in there, he spun away from him for the moment, but then Raheem Nunez-Roches came in to finish him off. 4th down.
Around the outside against the weak link of this offensive line, Austin Howard. And I was told by the Raiders they would never leave Justin Houston one-on-one with Howard on the outside. They did, and they saw why they shouldn't have.
Now you've got Hill back there. Hill muffed the punt, and that was the turnover that the Raiders cashed in for 3. Marquette King.
Catch.
Yeah, low snap, gets it away, saved it, and this time Hill, maybe a little gun shy, goes with a fair catch. At the later tonight on this Thursday night, Jimmy Fallon has Robert De Niro and Pharrell Williams and Burrell as well on the Tonight Show later tonight right here on NBC. As we look at the Empire State Building, and that's where our crew will be going Sunday night for the Cowboys and the Giants. From the 31, KC begins this drive, and Ware over the right side takes the ball out to the 35-yard line. Gain of, let's call it 4, 2nd down and 6.
Well, if you're a Chiefs fan, you know about Alex Smith. He wants to get the ball out of his hands as quickly as possible, and it is the fastest in the NFL, 2.36 seconds, and the average depth of target, 7.7. So, of course, with all those stats, so far tonight he has 1 completion for 39 yards.
Right. And a long pass to Conley down the sideline. It's Hill split wide to the right as fast as they come. 2nd down and 6. And the pass is thrown underneath and taken down right away is DeAnthony Thomas. He's spun out of bounds by the linebacker Malcolm Smith. It'll be 3rd down and 5.
One of the things the Chiefs would like to do tonight is to get after these inside linebackers, Malcolm Smith and Perry Riley, in coverage. They have terrific athletes inside. Travis Kelce at the tight end position, Spencer Ware, an excellent route runner coming out of the backfield. But on that one, it was Malcolm Smith up to the challenge.
They bring Charcandrick West into the backfield, as they normally do on 3rd down. They flare him out. Smith fires it over the middle. That is caught by his favorite target, Travis Kelce, to the 50-yard line and a 1st down.
Tonight, the Raiders were going to try and make contact with Kelce, but watch how quickly this ball comes out. Smith drops back on that back foot and just fires it after looking left. Kelce, one of the best, if not the best, route running tight end in the National Football League. And those two guys together have been magic. Some of the numbers they put up, astronomical.
Leads the team, has 66 receptions this season. That was good for 15. They get a whistle and a full start.
False start, offense number 87. 5-yard penalty, 1st down.
These Chiefs sent 6 guys to the Pro Bowl last year, 5 of them on the defensive side, and the only guy from the offensive side was Travis Kelce.
But that's a big deal here to this Chiefs offense, because what it does is it now brings those pass rushers of the Raiders back into play. Now, the Raiders don't have a ton of sacks on the year, but the 2 outside guys, Bruce Irvin, Khalil Mack, account for 15 sacks, and you get in a 1st or 2nd and long situation, here they come.
Kansas City doesn't give up a lot of sacks, of course, because he gets rid of the ball so quickly as he does here to Hill, but that goes nowhere as TJ Carey is there to take him down. Less than 4 minutes now left in the first quarter. Defensive coordinator right there, Ken Norton Jr. Spectacular career. Then he was up in Seattle, was under Pete Carroll, and Jack Del Rio brings him down last year to run the Oakland defense.
Yeah, you see a little Seattle influence sometimes. You see a little of Jack Del Rio's defense that he used with the Denver Broncos. Maybe a little more Jack Del Rio at this point than what they did in Seattle, but it's a little blend.
Second down and 14. Take the inside give and then spin it out incomplete. Intended for Ware. Staying right with them was Perry Riley, the linebacker. It'll be third down and 14 for KC.
And this time we've got Matt coming out here and working on Eric Fisher. And Fisher jumps out on him quickly there. You don't want Matt getting out of that stance too early. But now if you're Alex Smith, you're down here, and we talked to Alex about this situation. He knows these pass rushers are tough. There are going to be occasions on 3rd and long tonight. He's going to settle for a check down and just go ahead and punt the football.
See what he does here on a 3rd down and 14 from his own 46-yard line. Now you've got a flag, and they stop the play. It's offside, and Smith is going to argue that they should have let the play go, and it would have been a free play.
5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
But Jihad Ward came across, the rookie from Illinois, 2nd-round draft choice, and Smith wanted that free play, but doesn't get it.
And I think when Mitchell Schwartz got up out of his stance, that's when they decided to go ahead and blow the play dead. It just, there was too much reacting, and was this real football and all that sort of thing here. You get the flinch across the line, then the flinch, and then they blew it dead. I can't disagree with that one.
So the ball now on the Oakland side of the field at the 49-yard line. 3rd down, 9. Battle for first place in the AFC West. Smith, and it's incomplete. That wouldn't have gotten the first down anyway. Intended for Conley, and it's 4th down.
One of the things, we haven't seen Alex Smith running much this season in general, and especially after the head injury that he had a few weeks ago. He's also committed to basically, he's not sliding anymore. He feels safer going head first, but tonight could be the night with these 2 edge rushers. We see him run the football a little more.
Dustin Colquitt, whose dad Craig has 2 Super Bowl rings, punted for the Steelers in the 70s. Carey makes the fair catch for Oakland at the 9-yard line. Tick less than 3 minutes to go in the quarter. 3-0 Raiders. So Sunday night, 72 hours, the Meadowlands. It's the Cowboys. It's the Giants. Dallas, 11 straight wins. The Giants come in with a mark of 8-4. Under any circumstances, one of the great rivalries in the league, and particularly so on this Sunday night football. From the 9-yard line, Oakland begins this drive as they go 5 wide out of this set. And the pass is a short one for next to no gain. Amari Cooper makes the catch. Connor Cook is inactive tonight. He's the number 3 quarterback. How is he relevant here? I mean, think about this. He's picked in the 4th round. Dallas wanted to pick him, but Oakland traded up and picked him, which left Prescott still on the table. And that's how they wound up with Dak Prescott. They wanted Connor Cook in front of Prescott. Oakland got him, and how's that work out?
The poor Cowboys got stuck with Dak Prescott. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. They're stuck with him. We'll see him, Elliott, the whole gang on Sunday night. 2nd down and 8 here. And running into a wall and then exploiting it for a gain of a little bit here is Jalen Richard. Quite a change of pace. Murray is 6'3" and 230. Then they go to Richard, who's 5'8" and a little over 200 pounds.
Yeah, Jalen Richard, quite a story. A young man that had to go through a tryout camp just to get a chance to go to camp, to be one of 90 guys to try out for the team, and then made the team there. And they all say, the minute we saw that guy in practice, we were all going, how did this guy not get drafted? A lock to make the team once they saw him.
3rd down and 4. Only a 2-man rush that time, and the pass is low and incomplete. So They dropped 9 into coverage. Michael Rivera, the tight end, is the guy that he was going for, so it's 4th down.
Well, we talked about Justin Houston and all that guy does in rushing the passer, that time in coverage in the perfect spot. Watch him drop out of here and run right underneath Rivera and force Derek Carr to throw it just a little wider than he wanted to. So far as expected, a great defensive battle.
And that's borne out by the fact this is the 3rd punt already for Marquette King. Came into the game averaging 48.2. Because when you think about the Raiders and you think about punters, you think about one Ray Guy who's in the Hall of Fame. This one is a beauty, not only deep but angled to the 32-yard line, and Hill is going to bring it back out to the 48-yard line. Nice run back there. That was a 53-yard punt, and a late flag is down at the 40-yard line. Terry McCauley to give
During
us the call.
Holding, receiving team number 49. 10-yard penalty, 1st down.
That's Daniel Sorensen. So go back to last season when the Chiefs pretty much ran the table at the end of the year, 19-3 during the regular season over their last 22 games, allowing less than 17 points a game. Only the Seahawks have been better. And take a look at that. 48 takeaways, the most in the league, and that the turnover margin is plus 30. You're a plus 30 over that period of time. You're going to win a lot of games.
Well, and that's what affords them the ability to be conservative on the offensive side. This is sort of Andy Reid's pedigree. He is a firm believer that you drop back as a passer, hit that back foot, you get one hitch, and then after that, you're on your own. The belief is that those outside edge rushers cannot get there in that amount of time, and nobody to better operate that system than Alex Smith.
Randy Reid is 18th consecutive year as a head coach, 14 of course in Philadelphia, and now the 4 here. So from the 30-yard line, jet sweep with Hill, but that was ghost motion in effect, and the pass is caught by Jeremy Maclin, who has missed the last 4 games with a groin pull. Speaking of Reid in Philadelphia, of course, he had Maclin there. Then he brings him here. That's a gain of 16. But, you know, on a night like tonight, coming off a groin injury, it's really cold. Got to watch him.
You know, and this offense changed a little bit in those 4 games that he was out. Tyreek Hill took a bigger role. Travis Kelce had 3 100-yard receiving games. And so now they're going to add that extra element to this offense. Picks up a big 1st down there.
Up to the 46-yard line. Final minute of the quarter. Trying to work his way through is Spencer Ware. Up to the 48-yard line. 2nd down.
And that's really the challenge tonight for this Raiders defense. They did not do a very good job stopping Spencer Ware in this running game. The first meeting between these two teams, and a little extra work because Carl Joseph, their outstanding young safety back there, is out. There's Ken Norton Jr. on the defensive side, and he really simplified the approach tonight. Thought they made too many mistakes in some of those gap fits in the first game, and it really cost them.
Ware had that big day on the wet grass in Oakland. Smith throws, caught at the 40-yard line, and it's Kelce making the grab to the 36-yard line. That'll be a 1st down, and that will be the end of the 1st quarter. With the score, Oakland 3, Kansas City nothing. Thursday Night Football back after these messages from your local station. And tonight's aerial coverage is provided by Geico. Looking at downtown Kansas City, Missouri. Al Michaels, Chris Collinsworth, Heather Cox. Home of the Chiefs, who were born as the Dallas Texans in 1960. Lamar Hunt started in the American Football League, 3 years in the Cotton Bowl, then came here and moved into this ballpark in 1972. 1st down from the 36-yard line with Oakland on top 3-0. Smith in the pocket, quick pass, incomplete, intended for Albert Wilson. Perry Riley spent the past 5 years in Washington. Coverage.
Already seeing the speed of Tyreek Hill having an effect. Here he comes across, faking the jet sweep, and you can see the safety Reggie Nelson come out of center field, and that's what opened it up in behind it for Jeremy Macklin. So some of those fake jet sweeps and handoffs and reverses to Hill has a major impact on how you have to play defensively tonight for the Raiders.
That's more like a prop sweep right there as he sets up on the right side. Two-engine. And Smith going deep downfield and open and making the catch for the touchdown. Tyreek Hill.
How many engines going on this one, Al?
Oh, yeah, that may have been a prop, but he turned it into a jet.
At least the jet prop at the very least. Here we go, quarters coverage. And that means the inside safety is going to sit down on the tight end coming up the field. And it is the jet down the middle of the field who has been recorded as the fastest guy in the National Football League this year. And you see some of that speed there. And what a difference he's made for this Kansas City Chiefs offense.
That is the 6th touchdown of the season receiving for the rookie. It gives Kansas City the lead 9 seconds into the second quarter. Little souvenir. And Cairo Santos to try to tack on the extra point. And so the Kansas City Chiefs, that didn't take very long. 70 yards. 5 plays. Of course, you go back to the Sunday night game a couple of weeks ago when he did something that hadn't been done since Gale Sayers did it. A receiving touchdown, a rushing touchdown, and a return touchdown. So 51 years apart. And when you can be up on a graphic and a panel with that guy, you've done something pretty good.
Oh, my goodness. And he is just a difference maker. You know, forever you think of the Kansas City Chiefs as being this short ball control kind of offense, and teams come down and play the run. And already tonight we've seen a couple of deep balls and big plays out of Alex Smith, who is continuing to play so well against the Oakland Raiders.
Well, Hill's played a major part in all of the scoring tonight because he muffed the punt, which was recovered by Oakland, that led to the Janikowski field goal. Now it tones with the touchdown. 7-3 is the score. Again, if the Chiefs win the game, they'd have the same record as the Raiders, but will have swept the season series. They'd be on top. If the season ended right now, which of course it won't, but if it ended right now, the Oakland Raiders would have the #1 seed in the AFC because they'd own a tiebreaker over New England. Patriots would be #2. A lot to change between now and the first night of January. And that's going to be downed in the end zone by Richard. So the Raiders, a team that 2 years ago started 0-10 with Carr as the rookie quarterback. Here's Mark Davis, son of Al, running the team, a team that has not been, as we say, to postseason since 2002 when they lost to Tampa Bay in the Super Bowl from the 25. And on the delay, they give the ball to Latavius Murray, who picks up 7 yards to the 32-yard line. The venerable Derek Johnson makes the tackle.
You know, it's so interesting when they drafted Derek Carr and Khalil Mack. They basically called those guys into a room and said, listen, you guys are great players. You know, we know what you're going to do on the football field, but we need you to lead. We need you two rookies to be the leader going forward of the Oakland Raiders, which had to be a little startling for those two young guys on draft day, but both of them have stepped up and done a great job with that as well.
What if you're a 6-year veteran going, oh, I'm listening to these guys? Right. And that's juggled and that's caught by Michael Crabtree, but no, they're going to wave that one off, and it'll be 3rd down, incomplete, 3rd and 4.
You know, the matchup you always watch in this kind of situation is with Marcus Peters out here, number 22. He's a guy that probably takes more chances than any corner I have seen in many, many years in the National Football League. And he's a big believer that if you know it, you go. And if he thinks he smells something, he's going to take a shot for an interception.
22 is also the temperature at this moment. Carr is going to take off, trying to get the first down, reaches forward with the football, but is about a yard short of the first down. Donald Penn is arguing the case. And they're going to spot it a good yard shy of the first down right in front of the Oakland bench. And that's going to set up a fourth down.
Well, he stretches the ball out, but did he go out of bounds first?
Yep, sure did. That's a challenge that would be almost impossible to win. You rarely see that overturned. There he's out of bounds. Where's the ball? And they've already sent King out. So King already punting for the fourth time tonight. And the dangerous Hill is back there. And he's going to field it at the 24-yard line, and he can go nowhere. Tackled by Nate Allen. A minute and a half into the second quarter. Chiefs up by 4.
Look at that one. Bo Jackson says hello. Yo, mama, love that one. Jackson back, leaps, and he makes the catch.
And Bo Jackson, there goes Bo, and nobody catches Bo. Touchdown.
He may not stop that Tacoma. He's gone.
Bo Jackson, as you look at both stadiums here, in the foreground is Kauffman Stadium, was Royal Stadium when Bo was playing there. Of course, so good as a baseball player, phenomenal as a football player, and just a truncated career. Got hurt in a playoff game against Cincinnati in 1990, and that did it. But what a career.
Yeah, it was amazing too. On the play that he got hurt, it looked like nothing, you know, and it just so unfortunate.
Hip injury did him in. He was able to actually come back from that and play some baseball, but not for much longer. Gain of 1 there, so it's 2nd down and 9. Ware has carried the ball now 6 times for 14 yards. So that Raider defense was just susceptible to the run, doing a good job on the ground tonight, but through the air is where the Chiefs have done the damage. Smith has already thrown for 124 yards. And that is knocked down and loose at the line of scrimmage there. And Alex Smith, I think, winds up with his own pass. So it's an attempt and a completion and a reception.
Well, no quarterback's going to hurt their completion percentage by knocking this down. The heck with that. Let's grab and go see what we can get here.
3rd time in his career he's pulled this off.
Well.
Dan Williams got his hand on it. And even picked up 3 yards. 3rd and 6. And Smith fires, and that's going to be another first down. And Kelsey over the 50 and into Raider territory. What a combo platter these guys are. That's a gain of 28. Kelsey's already caught 3 for 60 tonight.
Watch the move coming off the line of scrimmage, and this is one fantastic throw by Alex Smith. Just had to trust that Malcolm Smith was not going to see this ball. You can see it. He never even saw it, but there was maybe 3 or 4 inches of opening in there, drilled it in there perfectly. Huge 3rd down conversion.
Conley is the motion man. And Ware, decent run here, takes the ball just inside the 40-yard line, and there's a flag down at the 50.
Offense number 76. 10-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Laurent Duvernay-Tardif. Smith and Kelsey, boy, you look at these guys. Since the beginning of the 2014 season, 9.3 yards per pass, 12 touchdowns, and no interceptions.
And it's the catch and run that most worried the Oakland Raiders and Ken Norton. The ability of guys like Travis Kelce and Spencer Ware to catch a short pass like that and turn it into a big play, that is what has been beating teams for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Kelce, 3 straight games over 100 receiving yards, and on his way to a 4th tonight. 1st and 20. Smith under pressure. He can run. but he comes up short of the line of scrimmage. We think Conley makes the catch, and he gets taken down to the 25-yard line. David Amerson tracks him down.
Remember, it is the back foot. The back foot never did cross that line. And because of that, despite the fact that the front foot stepped over, the back foot did not, and I think this is going to be okay.
Well, this
Offside.
You've got offside here. They're trying to run the play before a challenge can be made.
5-yard penalty. First down.
So Oakland is offside, costs them another 5.
So the red line, watch the back foot now of Alex Smith. The front foot definitely over. The back foot on the line, but not across the line. So that pass is still considered behind the line of scrimmage, a legal play.
And Conley with some good yardage after the catch. So Smith, brilliant start tonight, 10 of 15, 186 yards. Kansas City has outgained Oakland 202 yards to 27. 1st and 5 at the 20. Smith hangs in there, fires, caught, 1st and goal. That's Tyreek Hill. Well, he's spreading it around beautifully.
Well, now they're going to this 2-deep shell look here, and they're coming in between as they separate those linebackers and come with man coverage underneath, and just so hard to try and stay with Tyreek Hill one-on-one. So they add help down the field, but nobody so far has been able to follow Hill.
So Smith has already thrown for over 200 yards. He's hit 6 different receivers, and it's 1st and goal from the 4. Spencer Ware, and he gets about half the distance. Mack is there for the tackle. A little over 9 minutes to play in the half. It'll be 2nd down and goal.
I tell you, Alex Smith is putting on a show out here tonight. You feel like you're watching Aaron Rodgers, the way he's distributing the ball, and not just little short passes either. These driving balls down the field, taking advantage, taking chances. This has been some first half for Alex Smith.
It's no game manager tonight.
No, I think Jack Del Rio got under his skin a little bit with some of those comments after the last game.
He did. 2nd down and goal from the 2. And the hole opens up for Charkandrick West, but a flag is down. So West, for the moment, flag is at the 6-yard line.
Illegal use of hands in the face. Defense number 51. Hill is declined. Touchdown.
Penalty on Irvin. So they go 78 yards, another long drive, 7 plays, 3 runs, 4 passes, 13-3.
Here they come right off this edge. And that is a gaping hole for Charkandrick West. But this has been, for the Kansas City Chiefs and their fans, maybe even a little startling for them. This was a run kind of game in the rain when they played Oakland in Oakland. They turn around here on a better night for throwing the ball, and they're throwing it all over the park.
West had 5 touchdowns last season. That's his first this year. Nairo Santos for the conversion. And with 8.5 to go in the half, the Kansas City Chiefs lead the Oakland Raiders 14-3 on Thursday Night Football.
Kicking off for Kansas City, Nairo Santos.
Thursday Night Football being presented by Bud Light, beer with your team on it. An 11-point lead as the kick is fielded by Richard at the goal line. And Jalen Richard brings it back to the 26-yard line. So go back and finish up what you started to talk about the dissing in effect that Del Rio did with Alex Smith. But, you know, Andy Reid said it wasn't that big of a deal. But, you know, it stung.
It was to Alex, yeah. So after the last game, he basically said, hey, you know, I think Alex Smith's a good player, and he can do this, but when he has to drop back and throw the ball, that's not really his thing. They're a little bit more of a gimmicky offense. And for Alex Smith, we were talking to him, and he got a little fired up about that. He said, that's kind of making excuses for a loss. We won that game big in a physical way. It was disrespectful to our team. It was disrespectful for me. And you could tell Alex Smith was a little fired up walking out the door.
Oh, there's no question about that. Here's a flag at a false start. Then I asked him, I said, what's worse?
False start, offense number 71. 5-yard penalty. First down.
So what's worse, being a game manager or gimmicky?
Yeah. And he also said, I noticed as well that Jack Del Rio threw a touchdown pass to a tackle in the next game. So gimmicky goes around a little bit.
Oh, it does. Oh, it makes for good middle-of-the-week copy, doesn't it?
Oh, we love it, especially on short weeks.
Right.
All the help we can get.
Right. 1st and 15. Raiders can't get anything going. And they won't get anything going here because Rashard's going to be taken down at the line of scrimmage. Houston is there. The Raiders on their first 5 possessions, 4 of them have been 3 and out.
It's just a different team. I hate to say that, and I don't want to slight anybody else that's in the game. But without Kelechi Osemele at left guard, this is not the same overwhelming, powerful run team on the left side of this offensive line they've been all season. And without the running game, now they're having to just get into this drop back mode, and that's not healthy either.
John Feliciano is the guy who takes his spot. This time Carr has some time, but the coverage is great. That back end is terrific. You had Justin Houston chasing him. It'll be 3rd down and 15.
Very strong on the outside. Donald Penn, one of the great tackles in the game out here against Dee Ford, who already has 10 sacks on the season, coming back off of a hamstring injury. But once all these guys finally get healthy, Tamba Ali, and you've got Justin Houston and Dee Ford, come playoff time, these Chiefs are going to be a lot to handle.
Haven't even mentioned Eric Berry's name tonight.
Oh my goodness, what a game he had.
Think about that. Big hero last week in Atlanta, 3rd and 15. Carr throws, caught underneath, but it's going to be well shy of the first down here. Olawale, the fullback, makes the catch, and again it's another 3 and out, and Marquette King is going to punt for the 5th time in the game.
I tell you, I really think that defensive coordinator Bob Sutton of the Kansas City Chiefs, one of the real underrated coaches in this league. It is just year after year, we talk about the offense, they're not wide open, they're not this and that. What they are is a great defensive football team.
King averaging 44 yards per boot. This is a line drive kick that Hill is going to field at the 33-yard line. The flag goes down almost always against the receiving team. And Tyreek runs all the way back to Raytown. Terry McCauley looking for the options here. I think you've got number 1 at a false start against Oakland.
Player out of bounds on the punt, went out on his own. Kicking team number 82. 5-yard penalty. Replay 4th down.
Right, that's also the signal, not for the false start here, but the player goes out of bounds, comes back in, and we're going to re-kick it. Meanwhile, a week from tonight, we're going to go back to Seattle. We just came from there, in fact, and the Seahawks will be taking on the Los Angeles Rams. Plenty going on with the Rams these days. Not a lot of it is particularly good, but some interesting stories, obviously. Rams against the Seahawks. And the one thing about the Rams, they've beaten the Seahawks 3 times in a row now. So for whatever reason, they've had Seattle's number.
Now, you can say whatever you want about the Rams on offense. On defense, Aaron Donald and those guys can play.
Next Thursday night, back to the Northwest.
And now you have a slightly winded Raiders punt team kicking for a 2nd time. to Tyreek Hill.
See, Hill is angled to the other sideline. And this time King punts it away from that spot, but right down the middle of the field. And Hill is off to the races, and he is going to go all the way. Tyreek Hill, do not see a flag. Touchdown, Kansas City. That is a 78-yard return. And then there's a flag down in the end zone for the celebration. But Tyreek Hill has done it again.
You cannot leave the ball in the middle of the field. Watch all these defenders going that way. They're thinking they're going to try and pin him into the left. He floats it to the middle of the field. They don't have coverage that side against one of the fastest, if not the fastest guy in the National Football League. Huge mistake. First the penalty, second opportunity, and it was over. Tyreek Hill takes it to the house.
And then, as you said, a slightly winded Oakland unit trying to chase him down. Good luck.
DJ Alexander set the table with a good block there, and then no dancing on that one for Marquette King. Oh, but Kelsey gave him a little right back at him. That is one of King's favorite dances.
Yep. Marquette acknowledged it.
A Tyreek chant going up.
Yeah, that's the new chant here. Going to hear that a few times. So the extra point attempt. Well, the one thing about Oakland, they've been behind a lot this year. They are the comeback kings, and they'll have to do it again tonight because it's 21-3. Well, on January the 2nd, that's the premiere of the new Celebrity Apprentice. And who's the baddest boss in town? There he is. I'll be back. Arnold himself taking on his toughest role yet. Celebrity Apprentice, Monday, January the 2nd on NBC. It'll be the night after the regular season.
Springboard to the presidency.
You never know. The flag is down on the run back here by Taiwan Jones. Speaking of the presidency, and a flag is down on the play. Tell you that special teams group for Kansas City is really something. As McCauley all bundled up, gives us a signal. Got 2 fouls against Oakland, which is no news.
Offside, receiving team. That penalty's declined. During return, holding, receiving team number 57. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Corey James. There's Dave Tope. He was with Andy Reid years ago in Philadelphia. Went to Chicago, did a great job there. Devin Hester and a bunch of outstanding special teamers. Take a look at that. His special teams 13th season, 19 punt returns, 11 kick returns, block punts, missed field goals. Pretty good.
Look at the average, how much better he is than the average, and then the block kicks as well. It's no accident, ladies and gentlemen. Wherever Dave Tope goes, great special teams follow. Of course, it doesn't hurt any to have Tyreek Hill on your side either, or Devin Hester, or whoever.
But Tope's been doing it for years and years. So now the Raiders trying to get something before halftime on the 7-yard line, and a fast throw and a first down to Amari Cooper. And for Oakland, that would be only their second first down of the game.
Well, a little double whammy going here, Al, as well. We talked about no Kelechi Assembly in at left guard for power running. And for the second straight week now, we have Derek Carr taking every single snap out of the shotgun. So some of those runs that we saw against Denver, not really possible unless you get back in the pistol. And so you split this offense a little bit.
Worked last week for him, and that was another big comeback. Talking about comebacks, they were down by 15 to Buffalo and won the game. But to climb a mountain again tonight, Carr is able to, for the moment, escape, and then he'll just run out of bounds. Avoided the sack, but it'll be second down and 9. And you got Derek Johnson, who is taking a moment on the turf. Been a great player through the years. They picked him #1 out of Texas back in 2005. So 12 really good years for that guy. Not good at all for a guy who's had issues in the past few seasons with Achilles and foot injuries, and you take his shoe off, and Derek Johnson has to come off. And take a look at this. It looks so innocent at the beginning. The end result is not so innocent.
Just as he pushes off to go chase his play, he just simply goes down, and he tore the right Achilles in 2014 in week 1. Immediately took his helmet off, just sort of sat there. They came out and take off the shoe, and there have been some reports that his left Achilles had been sore. We won't speculate beyond that. But my goodness gracious, the heart and soul for so many years of this Kansas City Chiefs defense. That's tough.
Their leading tackler and their all-time leading tackler as well on the shelf. So 2nd and 9, and trying to move through the middle right now is Murray. They've done a really good job of bottling him up. Their leading ground gainer has carried the ball 7 times for only 22 yards, 3 yards per carry.
One of the keys for this Chiefs defense is the ability to play man coverage with their linebackers, and Derek Johnson, one of the best cover linebackers in football. Great anticipation, reading, and without him in there now, you just have to wait and see. But are we going to see some confusion? They're already missing Justin March-Lillard, another inside linebacker, so they're down to 3 and 4 at those positions now.
3rd down and 5. And Carr throws, and that's going to be caught for a 1st down up to the 40-yard line to Clive Wolford, the tight end, covered by the strong safety Ron Parker.
I can remember Clive Wolford at University of Miami, and just was such a good route runner. I thought he would be a really good pro. Maybe hasn't quite exploded as much as I thought. You can see that pinky barely off the ball there.
Now they pick up the pace here, and this is Murray up to the 48-yard line. Would be his longest run of the night. That's a 7-yard pickup, 2nd down and 3.
They were in this same position a week ago and went to the no-huddle offense and perked up, and just right through the 2nd half, basically unstoppable, and came back to win after being down 15.
29 unanswered points against the Buffalo Bills. That's close to a 1st down. Murray carrying again, 4th-year guy out of University of Central Florida. They spot him a little bit short of the 1st down, 3rd and inches.
Well, here's what made Kelechi Osemele so great. When these two guys got a push right here, they would push him right back into that linebacker. Now they're running the same exact play, and there's just not the same movement backwards that you had when you had Donald Penn and Kelechi Osemele running the same exact play.
Bringing an extra offensive lineman here on a 3rd and 1. And that'll pick up the 1st down and a whole lot more as Murray springs forward to the 39-yard line, tackled by Parker. Looking ahead to the half, you still have open all of its timeouts plus the 2-minute warning.
Just no matter what you do, when you come in and you bounce this thing to the outside, when you don't have your middle linebacker, right now they're playing a safety, Daniel Sorensen, in there at the linebacker position. He jumps hard inside to that gap. Now, it's hard enough to play linebacker on an ongoing basis, but you're filling in for Derek Johnson, who's so dynamic, stopping those kinds of run plays. This may be the start of something for the Raiders.
The Raiders trying to exploit it. This will be the 8th play of the drive. And the pass is caught by Rivera, the #2 tight end, and he takes the ball to the 28-yard line, and that's going to take us to the 2-minute warning. So the Raiders on the move, but down 21-3 in KC. Alexis, halftime coming up. We're going to get Mike, Tony, and Rodney out of their heated trailer.
Maybe.
To break down the 1st half. Rich Eisen and the NFL Network crew will take a look at the Sunday night game, which you'll see on Sunday Night Football. Cowboys, Giants. Okay, 2 minutes. All of their timeouts available to Oakland. Ball to the 28-yard line. Their best drive of the night, and Carr is going to go for it all and too deep. Richard cutting down the sideline. He had Marcus Peters covering. It'll be second down.
Now Peters taking another chance. Watch him. He looks at the quarterback. He thinks he sees something, and there goes a running back right by him, and you cannot miss that. That's the way the night has gone so far for the Raiders, and for Derek Carr, that was a layup.
That hit the rim and bounced away. Ball to 28. Spread it out. Quick pass, caught. Taking it to the 20 is Amari Cooper. He's tackled there by Terrence Mitchell. Seen a lot of action tonight. Got a yard shy of the first down as they line it up. Third down and 1.
And they have to take advantage of the backup, Terrence Mitchell, number 39 in the game, and I think they're leaning that way a little more now.
Trying to move the chains, which they will do here to the 14. Ton of time with all of those timeouts. Murray takes the ball to the 14-yard line.
And they're just getting after the interior now, and because the Kansas City Chiefs are being forced without Derek Johnson to stay in their dime defense. So now number 49, Daniel Sorensen, who is in that dime defense, forced to play linebacker. So if they want to keep running it up the gut, they should have opportunities.
12th play of a drive that started back at the Oakland 8-yard line. Under a minute now in the half. And the pass is high, and it's caught, but no gain there. Roberts covered by Nelson. And
yeah, that was
Carr looks over and says, do you want a timeout? And they do. 30-second timeout here. Ever since Carr suffered that dislocated pinky in the game against Carolina, he's not taken a single snap under center. None last week, none tonight. On the 33 snaps. Probably won't see one all night. Second down and 11. 44 seconds. 2 timeouts for the Raiders. Throws over the middle, caught, and taking the ball to the 4-yard line is Michael Crabtree. Cuts right over the middle. Pass right on the money. Del Rio looking at the clock. They still have those 2 timeouts. He doesn't want to leave Kansas City any time on the other end.
Better make sure you get all your plays right here, though.
Yeah, it's a little dangerous here. They throw a little fade now, and it's lucky that it wasn't intercepted because Mitchell with the flag down intended for Amari Cooper.
And they have found their spot now.
Defense number 39, the foul occurred in the end zone. The ball will be placed at the 1-yard line. Automatic first down.
Let's check this out and see who pushed who at the tail end of this thing. There's Cooper. Got a little piece of the face mask, I guess. Who knows? Toughest call in football.
Bringing the extra lineman here. First and goal from the 1 from the pistol. And it is Murray trying to slug his way into the end zone. And they say he's short. Now they better take a timeout, which they do. And it's going to be second down. And we can quickly tell you Thursday Night Football being brought to you by Subway. Try the new Reuben stacked with corned beef, limited time only. By Macy's, by USAA, and by Lexus. Wishing you happy holidays. And happy holidays to our good pal John Madden. Saw the great stars and coaches of what has been through the years a great rivalry. Take a look here again. Does he get in? I think he thought he did. Everything has to be reviewed by the officials. It looks like he's in.
The previous play is under review.
It's going to be reviewed. There's no challenge within the last 2 minutes. So in New York, they can stop it. And McCauley will go under the hood. And it looks like this could be a touchdown. You can see when Murray was coming away from the pile, it's going, I got in.
There's no question he got over the line. Now, did anybody blow a whistle? That would have been a conversation I would have had before I came over here for review. Probably not, or he wouldn't be going over. Did look like that ball crossed the line as long as nobody blew the whistle.
It's where is the ball? Where's the knee?
Well,
and it's obscured there.
Yeah, it all happened before that. So as long as no knee is down, and it doesn't look like it, but you can't really see that knee, so you might have to see that knee from another angle.
Right. And they can
off on this.
They can stitch it together.
Right.
When they look at this, you can stitch the replays together.
So no knee. Oh man.
And that way you get the compilation of pictures, and you can determine it that way. Tell you what, if he doesn't get in, you've got 10 seconds on the clock. And we think they're going to give him the touchdown. I mean, it looks, from what we can see, from those multiple.
After review, the runner broke the ball. The ball broke the plane in the runner's control. It is a touchdown.
All right, so Murray gets his touchdown.
Reset the game clock to 14 seconds.
Call is reversed.
Oakland is not charged with a timeout.
Go back to 14 seconds. And boy, did they need that, because not only did they need a touchdown on that drive, Kansas City's going to get the ball when we start the second half.
And you have to say it, when Derek Johnson went out of the game, defensively, it was different for the Kansas City Chiefs. So hold on to your hat here for the second half.
Gigantic. As it turns out, that drive went 91 yards, 14 plays, took a little bit more than 6 minutes. And Janikowski with the extra point as the Raiders get right back into the fray. Let's go to Heather.
Al, an update for you on Chiefs veteran linebacker Derek Johnson, who went down with a non-contact injury moments ago. It is a left Achilles injury. It's the same Achilles he had issues with in Week 12. He will not return to this game, guys.
Yeah, they can only hope, Heather, that he's back before the end of the season. Can't speculate. I'm sure they will check it out thoroughly. And for Derek Johnson, well, we'll see down the stretch here. They've got Tennessee coming in here next week. Then Denver comes in here. We'll have that game for you on Christmas night on Sunday Night Football. And then they will end their season at San Diego. So the statistics weighted to Kansas City. If you were to throw out that last drive, the Raiders had done nothing. And the turnover was when Hill muffed the punt, and Oakland recovered, and that led to the first score of the game, a Janikowski field goal.
Well, it is going to be an interesting second half, because right now either you go with the safety Daniel Sorensen to play in there, number 49, or you go with DJ Alexander, who came in tonight, the leading special teams tackler, but with only 5 defensive snaps, or go with Terrence Smith, who has no snaps. There we go. Have something to drink at halftime.
Well, they're not going to. Well, they are going to send this one down to Hill. They're going to give him a chance here on a bouncing ball. Oh man, that would have been the all-timer. Well, tonight after the post-game show, the moment the NFL's future was uncertain, and the season that revived it, the timeline 1984, the season that they say saved football. Tonight after the post-game, only on NFL Network. You never know when football gets saved, right? I'm going to tell you. Snap will end the. I just read them. What can I say? Smith with a kneel down here. That's going to take us to halftime, with Kansas City on top by a score of 21-10. So stay tuned now for the Lexus halftime report for highlights and analysis. Plenty more ahead on Thursday Night Football.
Productions for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the consent of NFL Productions is prohibited. Week 14 of the NFL season continues Sunday on CBS and Fox. Check your local listings for the game in your area.
Down the stretch we come with Week 14 beginning tonight in Kansas City.
Get in your steps and wrap your team and sing it. I don't know what you've been told, but football make you lose control.
Smith going deep downfield and open and making the catch for the touchdown. Tyreek Hill. And the hole opens up for Charkandrick West.
These Chiefs are going to be a lot to handle.
And Hill is going to go all the way. Touchdown, Kansas City.
Tyreek Hill takes it to the house.
And on we go in Kansas City to the third quarter. Al Michaels, Chris Collinsworth, and Heather Cox on Thursday Night Football. An 11-point game. Alex Smith, 202 yards through the air in the first half, and he spread it around 6 different receivers. What about Tyreek Hill? 53 receiving yards, a touchdown, a 78-yard punt return for a TD. The Raider offense, 92 yards, 34 yards on their first 6, and then the last drive got into the end zone. And for Mack, 24 pass rushes tonight, but no sacks. So the third quarter beginning in a game in which the winner of the game comes out of the fray in first place, and if the Raiders win, they'd be 2 games up. If Kansas City wins, they'd have the same record, but would own the tiebreaker. Bouncing ball is fielded in the end zone, and this time it is Thomas to run it back and not Hill. He takes it out to the 19-yard line. Let's go to Heather.
All right, Al, had a chance to catch up with both head coaches. Andy Reid said the key to Alex's success was getting to 6 different receivers, spreading the ball, and being aggressive by going deep. As for the Raiders, Jack Del Rio, he said the tempo in our last possession of the first half really helped us. We kind of came to life. And he said, you know what? It's a long night. We're here for 60. As for how they slow down the Kansas City passing game, he said, simple. We need to do our job, win matchups. And yes, they will try to avoid kicking to Tyreek Hill. Jack said, easier said than done.
Yeah, I think it would be a good idea. Thank you, Heather. As Hill makes the catch here, taken down by David Amerson after a short game.
I tell you, one of the keys really for the Kansas City Chiefs is they have been able to keep Bruce Irvin and Khalil Mack basically off of Alex Smith. Now, some of it is because Alex Smith gets the ball out very quickly, but some of it is the fact that these 2 tackles have done a nice job. Eric Fisher, who struggled with Mack the first time around, doing okay, as is Mitchell Schwartz, and he was brought in to do exactly this.
Second down and 5. They've got West in the backfield flanking Smith. And Alex Sangel goes over the middle. It's picked off at the 32-yard line. And this is Carey running it back to the 16-yard line. So how's that for a turn of events between the end of the first half and the beginning of the second, as Carey sets them up deep in Kansas City territory?
Right there is TJ Carey, and watch him as this bunch unfolds. He is just going to break sharply in front of Macklin and make the play. So all the good that Kansas City did in that first half, that final drive, and now comes out with an interception. This Raiders team has been doing this all season long. They do not go away.
And the case in point last week, down by 15 at home to Buffalo and won it going away by 14 from the 18-yard line. Carr, every snap out of the gun or the pistol. And Carr throwing for the end zone, and it's busted up at the very end. Seth Roberts looked like he was about ready to haul it in, and Steve Nelson bats it away.
Not exactly sure why Derek Carr floated that thing like that, but it was a great play by Nelson to get it out of there. I mean, it was Seth Roberts running wide open across the field, and Derek Carr threw him a little lollipop, and it allowed Nelson to recover.
Spread them out. Well, they bring Murray back into the backfield. On second down and 10, they give it to Murray. And he works his way down to the 14-yard line where it will be 3rd down and 6 for the Raiders.
Yep, and they're staying inside with Sorensen in there. That has been a successful defense for them, effectively playing that dime defense with Sorensen in there at the middle linebacker. And you just wonder if maybe somebody over on the Raiders sideline said, hey, why don't we go to 6 offensive linemen, stay in it for a little while, and see if we can just overpower them.
Now they go 3 by 1 with the 3 receivers to the left side. Carr looks that way. Carr goes that way, and that's incomplete, intended for Roberts. So the Kansas City defense is able to stiffen and limit them to a Janikowski field goal attempt.
Hey, let's give some credit to Terrence Mitchell coming in there and getting the job done. There's no question that with Philip Gaines out of there, that Terrence Mitchell in, they were going to test that young player, and so far he's been up to it.
Sebastian Janikowski made one from 44 yards. This is the length of an extra point here. This is a 33-yard attempt, and that will make it a 1-possession game. So 10 unanswered points by the Raiders to make it 21-13. Thursday Night Football being brought to you by Papa John's, the official pizza sponsor of the NFL. By Old Navy. By Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing. And by Verizon, it's always a great gift on Verizon. It's Bishop Miege High School in Kansas, winning a 3rd straight state championship. Bueller 53-21. Of course, the Kansas border, not far from here. A half-hour drive from Arrowhead in western Missouri. We are on this 22-degree night. 21-13 is the score. The kick is fielded by Thomas. And Anthony Thomas gets chased to the boundary and chased out of bounds at around the 25-yard line.
Well, until that last series, Alex Smith had been right on target, and he had been sort of reeling him in with some of these short, quick throws and moving the sticks and making plays. And when he wanted to go downfield deep to hit something big, he had exactly what he wanted to Tyreek Hill. And unfortunately, this is how the second half started. So a little momentum changer to make it a 1-score game once again for the Raiders.
That pass had been intended for Jeremy Maclin and picked off, leading to a field goal. And now from the 24-yard line, look out from behind. The ball comes loose. It's taken by Khalil Mack. It's on the ground at the 18-yard line. And sooner or later, Khalil Mack was going to do something big, and recovered by Danico Autry of the Raiders.
Comes right around here, and for Fisher, that was a bit of a nightmare the last time. That one-arm stab that Khalil Mack does so well, gets up underneath the neck or the shoulder pad area or whatever he does to get around, and then doesn't go for the sack at all, just goes for the football, tried to score with it. Raiders lucky to come up with the play. So back-to-back huge plays for Ken Norton's defense to start this second half.
Right, the second half is 2 minutes and 6 seconds old. Oakland has the 2 takeaways. And they start this drive from the 18-yard line. That's Roberts going in motion. So you've got 4 receivers on the right side going for the end zone, and you got action and contact, but no flag. Rivera, the intended receiver, the tight end, and he's looking around for the laundry and sees none. Ron Parker covering.
Yeah, I think they were trying to set it up like it was going to be a quick screen out there to the outside to Roberts, and then the guy, Rivera, who typically would be the blocker, was going to go on the wheel route down the field, but that one was well played by Parker. Big opportunity here for this Chiefs defense. If they can make a hold here, it would really be a statement.
And they've already made one by holding to a field goal after the last turnover. Can they do it again? Murray through the middle. He goes, he's going to back his way to a first down. got stopped about 7 yards into the run and then picks up maybe another 4.
Yeah, this is something you see more and more as these backs get down the field, then watch the offensive lineman come down for a push. So he stopped at about 8 yards, and then here comes Jackson to push him over the top, then a first down.
Gain of 10, 1st and goal. Give it to him again, runs into his own man, and this time nothing happening. Flag is down. Berry came up to make the tackle. Terry McCauley gives us the call.
Offense number 88. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Tight end Walford for a team, the Raiders, who lead the league in penalties. Something they've done 17 times since they came into the league in 1960.
What was it, the Tampa game? They had 200 yards in penalties and won the game.
They had 23 penalties, the most penalties ever in a game, and they won in overtime.
Amazing.
So Jack Del Rio, we were talking to him the following week. He said, maybe we can do it with 24.
The Raiders do have a little history there.
Ball at the 17. He go 5 wide here. Carr throws, and that pass is behind the intended target. Jalen Richard. 2nd down and goal.
Well, they do come out and had success when Derek Johnson went out of the game running the football. They've had a little success here, albeit with a few penalties mixed in, but they really have been much more spread here in the second half than just trying to pound the football.
So Carr is 0 for 4 in this half. 10 of 22 in the game. Set up a screen to the outside, but Crabtree has nowhere to run. Ron Parker again involved in that. 3rd down and goal now from the 17.
Well, Justin Houston's going to secure anything here and then come out and get underneath this. Remarkable what he's done since he's come back. 4 sacks in the 2 games played prior. That huge night against Denver with 3 sacks. And I tell you, and Tamba Ali has also had an uptick in his play since Justin Houston came back, playing some of his best ball. So that whole package starting to come together.
3rd and goal. 4-man rush. And it's a short pass, and it's incomplete. So that defense forced now twice after those turnovers deep in Kansas City territory, able to affect a couple of stops, and instead of maybe 14 points against them, limit them to 6 if Janikowski's field goal is good.
Well, that's just huge. It's so difficult to have to answer the bell once on a turnover, but back-to-back and then hold them out of the end zone twice in a row. That is how you go on and win championships with defense like that.
35-yard attempt for Janikowski, and King is going to run with it, and King's going to be taken down at the 21-yard line. So the Raiders get 2 huge breaks and can only pick up 3 points out of them. Had to reach for it, and you can see what happened. NFL Thursday Night Football being presented by Bud Light, beer with your team on it. Arrowhead Stadium, Kansas City, Missouri. Home of the Chiefs since 1972. Andy Reid, coach of the Chiefs since 2013. Watching his team turn the ball over on successive plays, but the bad snap there, King had no choice but to run with it, and Kansas City takes over here, and then you've got a tackle made, and everybody sees that the flags come in because there are flags on the tackle, and this is going to go against the Raiders.
Foul, grasping the face mask, defense number 95, 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
It's and Jihad Ward. Meanwhile, let's go back to the Marquette King. What we thought might have been a fake, but clearly not. John Kondo with the snap. Couldn't get it down. Had to eat it.
Well, and don't forget, just before earlier in the first half, when Tyreek Hill fumbled that punt, they ended up holding him to a field goal there as well. So 3 turnovers now, just 2 field goals out of it.
Right. First down after the penalty. And they've got West. Gain of 1. Nate Allen makes the tackle.
And we're starting to see a little bit more man coverage now out of the Raiders, trying to bring that safety down, be more aggressive on the front end, and just counting on these corners. I talked to Ken Norton about how you might end up playing this thing. He said, hey, our 2 cornerbacks are 2 of the highest paid guys on this team. They're going to have to lock down, play some one-on-one. I don't want to hear it. They're going to have to make plays, and it looks like now, at least on first down, that's the style of play they're going to try.
And on 2nd and 9, you had that hard count and a flag down for delay of game.
Offense. 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
So that is the 6th penalty tonight. The Raiders, meanwhile, 8 penalties, 70 yards. So they've hit a milestone. The Raiders have now had 1,002 yards of penalties this season.
And congratulations. It's whatever.
Yep.
Khalil Mack, though, now's when this guy starts getting cranked up. Second half of the season, second half of games. That is Khalil Mack time. He already has 1. Let's see him go to work here.
2nd and 14. Pass high for Hill, but he's able to pull it in and take the ball up to the 39-yard line. And there he is in his 3rd season. What a player he is. And he gets hotter as the year gets colder. 12 sacks in December or when the regular season laps over into January. And he also gets hotter as the game moves along. 14 sacks in the 4th quarter or overtime. Only Von Miller has more at the end. 3rd and 10 now. Smith fires, and that's going to be caught by Kelsey, but he will come up a little bit short of the first down at the 46. So they started with that delay of game, and they wind up with a 4th down and 2.
You know, we talk a little bit about Mack, but here's a guy now with 8 straight games, at least 1 sack. And during that stretch, 10 sacks, and that 8 straight with at least 1, the longest active streak in the league. So he has a tendency to take over when it matters most.
Now Cole quick to punt. Shard collects at the 17 and brings it back to the 23, and a penalty at the 18-yard line. And it will go against
illegal block in the back. Receiving team number 56.
The Raiders.
10-yard penalty. First down. Timeout.
8:10 remaining in the 3rd quarter. KC up by 8 at home. The Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year Award, presented by Nationwide, recognizing NFL players who've made significant impact on both the game and their communities. Some of the Chiefs who won in the past were honored tonight. Meanwhile, Dan Williams is the Raider nominee, and Alex Smith is the KC nominee, with the winner to be announced at the NFL Honors Program during the Super Bowl week, February the 4th. So the Raiders now have the ball with Murray as the back. Come up in the pistol. Down by 8. And they give it to Latavius Murray, who picks up 3 yards out to the 12. And we go to Heather Cox.
Al, the Walter Payton Man of the Year. Pretty cool recognition. So Dan Williams' biggest focus is diabetes awareness because his late father suffered from the disease. He works closely with the American Diabetes Association on funding kids' diabetes programs. And Alex Smith, he started his own foundation to give foster teens the sources they need to succeed. He said when he found out that just 1% of foster kids graduate college, he was motivated to do something. Nice to see these two being honored, Al.
Very much so, Heather. It's a great award, the Walter Payton Award. And the guys who have won it say it's as big a thrill as they could possibly have. Here's Murray taking it up to the 19-yard line.
Yeah, and so now what did the Raiders come out and finally end up doing? Just attacking right at those linebacker spots. I think that is the strategy. You know, you're here, the game is well within your control, one-score game. Just don't get away from the weakness now of what Kansas City is defensively. Now with DJ Alexander in there as the other linebacker with Ramik Wilson.
Murray picked up enough for the first down, and they feed him again. And he gets wrestled down as he crosses the 20-yard line. Alexander and Wilson converge to make the tackle.
Well, Ramik Wilson right here, make no mistake, this guy, if he has the strength, it is playing the run. So now it's going to come down a lot to whether or not they can try and take advantage of DJ Alexander in there. Ramik Wilson missed a few tackles a week ago. There's Bill Musgrave, the offensive coordinator, I think, trying to pick his spots with a few weaknesses now on Kansas City's defense. Sorensen back in the safety now at the other linebacker position.
Second down and 9. A little over 6 to play in the quarter. Carr flings it to the outside. Pass is errant, intended for Cooper. They've held him in check for the most part tonight. 4 catches for him, but for only 26 yards.
Yeah, Philip Gaines out tonight with that knee injury. Might get Wally pipped. Terrence Mitchell is on one of the hottest receivers in the game. A guy that went for 129 yards against the Chiefs last time, and so far it has been Mitchell doing a nice job, and he's right in his face.
How about Carr tonight? 11 to 25. That's 77 yards, meaning he's averaging a little over 3 yards per pass attempt. Wow. And fires incomplete here. Intended for Crabtree, and that's 4th down.
I mean, this is a bad miss right here. I'm not saying this would have even gone for a first down, but anytime you float this ball this far over a receiver's head, it just makes you think. I think Crabtree thought he was throwing to somebody else. Like, he pulled his hands down and said that has to be intended for somebody else. Don't want to float another one of these in the middle of the field.
Marquette King now for his 6th punt of the game. And Tyreek Hill is back there. He's going to pin him against the sideline and even beyond as it's punted out of bounds. And Kansas City will get the ball up near the 40-yard line. Premier League Sunday, it's coming to NBCSN. 3 matches coming your way, beginning with Chelsea against West Brom at 6:30 a.m. Eastern. This Sunday on NBCSN. Well, the Raiders have had a lot of chances, but they've been limited to 3 yards per play tonight. 148 total yards, 77 passing yards for Carr. And now the Chiefs begin this drive from their 38-yard line. And the ball handed off to Spencer Ware up to the 43.
Watch Khalil Mack here in the first half working against Eric Fisher. Watch this stab move that he has. That left arm extended, which sort of makes it so hard for the tackle to just reach him. But I really thought Fisher played pretty well in the first half. And then the second half, as he always does, here comes Mack making game-changing kind of plays. Unfortunately for the Raiders, they didn't take advantage.
Fisher, the #1 overall pick in 2013 versus quarterback. Smith was the #1 overall pick back in 05. Through the middle on a draw, getting the first down here is Spencer Ware, taking it just shy of the 50.
Yeah, and you wonder if Andy Reid on the flip side might be thinking the same thing as well. You know, we had a lot of success running for over 130 yards with Spencer Ware in that first matchup. Let's start reeling this defense in, making them play a little bit tighter See if we can get that 8th man down in the box from the safety position, get some one-on-one outside, and hit another big play down the field like we did in the first half.
Bring the fullback in, Sherman.
Man coverage, and Alex Smith looked like he's checking.
And he's going to give it to Ware following Sherman, cutting back inside. Good run there to the 44-yard line. Ward making the tackle. Gain of 7, 2nd down and 3, Kansas City.
Here's the big difference, Al, is that over here, Travis Kelce cannot block Khalil Mack. He can block Bruce Irvin. You saw it time after time in the first matchup. So anytime they can get that matchup, bring the fullback in the game, now they have the ability to start getting something going with the running game.
Leave the fullback in here. Run pretty much the same play they just ran. And this time he's going to come up a little bit short of the first down. We're under 4 minutes now to play in the third. It's going to be 3rd down and 1 as Andy Reid sends the play in.
Yes, they went a little different approach that time. They brought Kelce down inside and brought Mitchell Schwartz out on a little trap power play to the outside. But all of it is sort of designed now to go after Bruce Irvin in the run game.
Smith is going to spread them out. On 3rd down and a short 2, he goes 5 wide and fires into traffic, and there's no flag as Kelce Smith comes away with it, but Kelce doesn't come up with it. Meanwhile, forget about what Smith is doing here.
Yeah, well, Smith looked like he had it, but you knew he dropped it because he didn't get up and do anything, and the official from the back started calling incomplete. So no Academy Award at all here for Smith. Ball went right between his hands and is on the ground. He knew it. But he didn't even try and fake it.
Interesting, set that they came up with on 3rd and short. Come up with an empty backfield, go 5 wide, and now it's 4th down.
Yeah, I thought they were going to run like a quarterback draw, something like that, splitting it out that wide. Well, now they come back with an offensive lineman in the backfield.
If indeed they're going to snap it, Ja Reed is the fullback. Trying to get the Raiders to jump. Play clock is at 4. And that was much ado about nothing. That's as much ado about nothing as I've ever seen. Motion shifting, putting the guy back in the slot. Kind of knew they couldn't have snapped it there.
Well, not the way your defense is playing, right? I mean, you definitely, in this situation, want to keep backing the Raiders up because your defense is simply outplaying the Raiders, and really, Derek Carr has been missing a few opportunities here in this half.
This will be Colquitt's 3rd punt. DJ Carey back to receive it. Calls for a fair catch at the 15. That's where the Raiders will go to work with 3 minutes to go in the third. KC up 21-13. Many of you know the Eric Berry story. Leukemia, fighting for his life a couple of years ago. Recovers, comes back, and how good has he been this year? Interception return for a touchdown at Atlanta, and then that 2-point conversion, which would have given Atlanta a 3-point lead, turns into a 1-point victory for Kansas City. What a player. Oakland now from the 15-yard line. Short pass caught by Cooper at the 18. Here's all Berry did in the Georgia Dome last week. Picks that one off, and then of course the big play came at the end of the game. There were his folks, because he is from Atlanta. That's where he had his treatment. And then this, of course, the rule change in effect for a couple of years now. You run it back on a conversion, and mom and dad each wound up with a football.
Yeah, he outscored 3 teams last week.
Yes, he did. It's the kind of script they'd reject because it's too farcical.
And what was amazing about that story was, okay, he's diagnosed after a Raider game in 2014, goes through the treatment program, comes back, is comeback player of the year, and the whole thing. And then he has to go back to his home in Atlanta where he received all the treatment, has that magical game with his parents there and gives each of them a game ball. I mean, come on.
Amazing. After a Murray first down, Carr throws, and that's going to be caught before going out of bounds. Rivera, the tight end. And so the Raiders on the move now up to the 40-yard line.
Well, here's Derek Carr, who has so many different throwing angles. We've seen him do so many things. Aaron Rodgers, his favorite player, and just sort of floats that one in there just in time. But really, the Raiders desperately needed a first down just to flip the field position, if nothing else here.
Minute and a half left in the quarter. And that will go nowhere. Sorensen taking care of Rivera at the line of scrimmage.
So Derek Carr just 14 for 29 on the night now, but you'll see him not put this pinky on the ball. And the difference with Alex Smith, clearly wrapped around, but he is doing everything, including backhanded handoffs, to make sure that that pinky does not get stung. And you can imagine, right? It's so cold out here. You brought it up earlier. You don't want to play catch without some gloves on or something on that pinky. I'm sure it's hurting him and probably making a difference in how he's throwing the ball tonight.
22-degree night as Carr this time hangs in there, and it's tipped in, almost intercepted. Looked like Parker got his hand on it. Ramik Wilson almost had the interception, and that's going to make it 3rd down and 9.
Well, here's what has been the difference for Derek Carr tonight. I mean, this is one of the most accurate young throwers in the game, and he is missing high. He is throwing behind. You just have to wonder, and he probably would never admit it in a million years, but if you've seen him play all year, accuracy is one of his strong suits.
Final minute of the quarter, 3rd and 9 for the Raiders. And that is incomplete. Short pass over the middle intended for Richard. He was covered by Wilson, and Marquette King with another punt.
I tell you what, this Ramik Wilson is playing a great game. Anytime you get the quickness of Jalen Richard coming out of the backfield, and he's running right down Broadway at Ramik Wilson, and be able to stay with that guy on a two-way go, one of the quicker players in the league. Fantastic series that time by Ramik Wilson.
So King, and this time they've got Hill back. Anthony Thomas had been back there on a couple of punts, but now the dangerous one sets up back at the 10-yard line. It's a line drive kick, and Hill's going to field it at the 20-yard line. There's a flag down. Hill's going to come to the outside and out of bounds at about the 43-yard line, but there's a flag down all the way back at the 37-yard line.
During the kick, holding, receiving team number 48. 10-yard penalty from the end of the kick. First down.
And with 26 seconds. You know, we talked about it at the top. You go back to the original American Football League years. This was one of the great rivalries. And then in the 80s, in the 90s, one team was good, but the other wasn't. So there were a lot of years when it was a rivalry, but it's not like it is tonight. It's back.
You know, there were just so many great memories. For me, it was from my childhood. I'm sort of junior high, high school, and Coach Madden's teams and all those rivalries. And it just seemed sort of mythical a little bit. They were all larger than life characters, and all the stories about the Raiders at the Super Bowl. I won't go into all of them, but it was just a fun era in the National Football League.
No doubt about it. Kansas City was in the first Super Bowl, lost to Green Bay. Then in Super Bowl IV, they won. It's only the 3rd meeting ever when both teams have been 5 games over 500. Go back to 1969. Twice. John Madden and Hank Strand and some of the great players, of course, Darryl LaMonica, Kent Stabler, Len Dawson. Flag on that last play.
Holding, offense number 72. Half minutes to the goal. First down.
So all the way back. Penalty here on Fisher.
It's almost window dressing anytime they're running at Khalil Mack. It's not what they want to do. It's not what anybody wants to do. And that's one of the reasons I think Mack is probably one of the strong candidates for Defensive Player of the Year. There are going to be other guys that have sack numbers that are going to match him. But when you watch him play after play against the run, that's where he is. Well, he separates from the pack, really.
And with the clock running, that is going to take us to the fourth quarter in Kansas City. 21-13, end of 3, Kansas City. Tonight's aerial coverage provided by Geico as you look at the Country Club Plaza in Kansas City. Great setting, great shops, all kinds of shopping and restaurants, and always in the holiday season, beautifully lighted. Great place to visit. Cal Michaels, Chris Collinsworth, Heather Cox, Arrowhead Stadium. First place at stake in the AFC West, and a 1st and 13 for Kansas City from their own 7-yard line. Smith from the end zone, deep downfield, and at the 40-yard line, it is Kelce. Travis Kelce gets him out of a big hole.
You know, when you could take your tight end, split him out, send him down the middle of the field, and throw a back shoulder that he can turn and so easily make the catch on, one-handed or otherwise, he is an incredible threat for the Kansas City Chiefs. And for so long, he was the big play guy. Now they're adding in a dose of Tyreek Hill down the field, and it is becoming more dynamic almost on a weekly basis.
From the 41-yard line. Spencer Ware. So for Kelce, he ties an NFL record held by a former Chief and also by Jimmy Graham. 4 consecutive games with 100 or more receiving yards for a tight end. And he has a chance to have that record all by himself next week. So Gonzalez, Graham, and Kelce, 4 straight games over 100 receiving yards.
Yeah, he had a career high 140 yards against Atlanta a week ago. He may be chasing that one too.
The next game is a week from Sunday against Tennessee as Ware is forced out of bounds. Just to update the playoff picture right now, they're your division leaders, Oakland and New England, Baltimore and Houston. The wild cards would come out of the West at the moment, KC and Denver. And as we mentioned before, right now, if Oakland were to run the table, they would cement the #1 seed, because right now they would own the tiebreaker over New England. And so the road to the Super Bowl would go through the West Coast.
But Oakland, the #1 seed today, they lose this game. Kansas City goes into first in the division, knocks Oakland into a wild card, so they would be the 5 seed at this point. So 1-5 if they lose.
3rd down and 4. Smith is going to run it, trying to pick up that 1st down, and I believe he has it. Alex Smith, and we've seen him do that in the past, had some big runs in a playoff game for San Francisco a few years back. Picks up the 1st down.
And don't forget, Alex Smith can run. He played for Utah. Urban Meyer out there in 4.5 speed, and we haven't seen it much this year, but when he turns on the jets, this guy can go, and he really an angle that it looked like Perry Riley would get there first. There's Fisher on the outside, slinging Bruce Irvin by to give him a chance.
Now at the Oakland 47-yard line. Smith to the outside. That's Ware making the catch, and he's taken out of bounds by Smith. And we go to Heather.
Well, Chris was just talking about Urban Meyer, who coached Alex Smith in college. The two are still very close, and Smith told me there are a lot of things he learned from Meyer, but there's one thing he uses every day, which is if you want something you don't have, you need to change what you're doing. Alex said, I recall those words constantly to remind myself not to be afraid to adjust. It's just so important to analyze what's not working and not be worried about changing it. He said both in football and in life.
Thank you, Heather. He's had an interesting career. Alex Smith, #1 pick by San Francisco. Ware here, who just made his first catch of the game. Getting up and down there. The 49ers weren't very good for a while. Then he came to the 4. Then he got hurt. Then Colin Kaepernick took his job. And he winds up in Kansas City. He's played very well, obviously, for Andy Reid.
Yeah, and everybody has a million different reasons why, Alex Smith is this and he's that and he's a game manager and all that kind of stuff. But Andy Reid was ahead of the curve when he was throwing 60-40 pass ratio to run, and everybody thought he was crazy. And now he may be ahead of the curve again with this getting the ball out in 2.5 seconds. It's keeping his quarterback healthy, and this team has been on one big hot streak for quite a while now.
Smith on the 3rd and 4, and that is incomplete. Looking for a flag is Jeremy Maclin. Smith looks as well. You got Carey covering on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down and 4.
Broken up by T.J. Carey.
Nicely played again by T.J. Carey. Here we go right out in here.
T.J. Carey back deep for Oakland.
A lot of contact moving down the field, not enough for the flag. But the one thing that they did do with that Travis Kelce catch down the field was flip the field position. So now once again the Raiders are going to have to go the long way.
Absolutely, as Dustin Colquitt sends his 4th punt of the night into the air, and a fair catch is called for and made at the 13-yard line by T.J. Carey with 10:52 left in regulation at Arrowhead. NFL's Thursday Night Football being brought to you by the 2017 Kia Sorento. Learn more at kia.com. By Bose, get closer. By Coors Light, whatever your mountain, climb on. And by Amazon Prime, get free 2-day shipping on millions of items. Yep. Arthur Bryant, legendary king of ribs, founded what many consider the most famous barbecue restaurant in the U.S. in the 20s here in Kansas City. Gotta get that BBQ, you know that.
Had some at halftime.
Oh, yeah. From the 13-yard line, they start here with Carr. Pass incomplete. Just want to clean up something on Barry. I think I said leukemia before. He had Hodgkin's lymphoma is what he recovered from a couple of years ago. We were in here, in fact, I think the week after he was diagnosed, and, you were just praying that he'd survive, and here he is playing at a Pro Bowl level 2 years later.
Probably for the past month playing some of the best football of his life.
2nd and 10. Temperature has remained steady all night at 22 degrees. Very little wind. Not a factor at all here. And Murray now, who got off to a real slow start tonight, has picked it up, and his numbers are looking pretty good right now. After a 12-yard gain, he has 95 yards on the ground, 19 carries.
Right out of here, we're going to have some key blocks. Nice job. Chris Jones gets up a little too high, as he sometimes can, and Gabe Jackson, everybody forgets that Derek Carr was in that same draft with Khalil Mack, but a very significant player, their right guard, Gabe Jackson, came in that draft as well, so that was a heck of a trio in 2014.
And Murray picking up a couple more as he approaches 100. So the Raiders come back kings this year, and a lot of that has to do with that man who has thrown 11 touchdowns and only 1 interception in the 4th quarter or overtime, and 5 game-winning touchdown passes, which is an NFL record. And they still have 4 games to go, counting this one.
See those 2 deep safeties in the middle of the field. They can't get them out of that.
2nd and 7. That's a low throw, and that's incomplete. Nelson covering Roberts on the play. And a 3rd and 7.
When you see those 2 deep safeties, at least in the past, what this Raiders offense would have done was simply run the football behind Kelechi Osemele and Donald Penn and Rodney Hudson on that left side. They haven't been able to run it consistently enough tonight. So once again, here they are, right back in the middle of the field.
And they set up about 15 to 17 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
And it's man coverage across the board everywhere else. That two-man is tough.
Carr under pressure, gets away, going deep downfield and incomplete over the head of Amari Cooper. Turning around, couldn't collect it. 4th down.
Oh, they had such a chance. They got him in that one work coverage that time. One of the safeties came down, and then they had wide open down the boundary here. And once again, Derek Carr just cannot connect on this thing. This is going to be a walk-in, and I don't know what happened to Cooper. He looked like he lost his balance or something on this throw and just sort of stumbled at the tail end of it, didn't pick it up.
So another big missed opportunity. King. Line drive, spinner, caught, Hill, 36-yard line, and a good run back of 14 yards to midfield. Still on his feet. With 9 minutes to go in regulation, but good field position for the Chiefs, up by 8. Thursday Night Football being presented by Bud Light, beer with your team on it. And Thursday Night Football next week, back to the Northwest we go for the Los Angeles Rams against the Seattle Seahawks. Coverage starting at 7:30. Thursday Night Football a week from tonight. So Kansas City now up by 8. Ball at the 50-yard line. Off play action, Smith chased and then just throws that one intended for Macklin out of bounds. 2nd down and 10.
Go back and watch this release by Derek Carr and almost the grimace as he throws across his body here. But this is the 2nd time now that they have gotten behind Marcus Peters and simply unable to hit on the play. And I just don't know what happened to Cooper at the end of this one. It looked like he just didn't pick up the ball early enough, or it got caught in the wind or caught in the lights or something. But there have been big play opportunities in this game missed by these Raiders.
A bunch of them. 2nd and 10. No gain here for Weir. And there's no question. I mean, you can tell the car is just not right. And you saw the way that hand stayed wide open at the end of that pass. And you look at the numbers, and they speak for themselves here. 14 of 34 for 95 yards. And it's not often you see a quarterback complete passes or wind up with an average per pass of less than 3 yards.
And they've gotten 3 turnovers on the night. They haven't turned the ball over themselves. This is the formula for how Kansas City wins games. And for the Raiders, they just have not taken advantage.
3rd down and 10. And that's Hill, who spins away, but can only pick up 4 yards. And it's 4th down. So with less than 8 minutes to go, the Raiders are going to get the ball back after Colquitt's 5th punt.
But once again, assuming a decent punt here, they're going to be backed up, and their defense gets yet another opportunity. I'm just telling you, this game is completely different, and I hate to wear this one out, but Kelechi Osemele in there, they're running it all night at that 2 safety look. All night.
Yep. How often does a left guard make that much of a difference? But this is that game. They're caught at the 14-yard line with 7:25 remaining in regulation. Sunday 9 a.m. NFL Network. Give you a look at all the games, including Cowboys-Giants. Sunday 9 a.m. Eastern on NFL Network. Downtown Kansas City in the distance there, about a 20-minute drive from here, depending on who's driving. The 15-yard line, that's what the Raiders need right now. It's a long drive. They've had only one tonight, that at the end of the first half. And they start here by giving the ball for an 8-yard gain to Richard, and we go to Heather.
As you guys know, Arrowhead's always been known for being loud and electric. Tonight, even more of the same. Might have something to do with Andy Reid's letter. Similar to a doctor's note, Reid tweeted out a coach's note to fans that they can download, fill out, give to a boss or teacher to excuse them for half a day so they could come tonight.
Andy filling every role as Crabtree makes the catch up at the 29-yard line.
He is one of the great guys in the league. There's just no question about it. So much fun. We gave him a little Fitbit as a gift, one of those things you work out in and whatever. He says, oh, that'll be great. I'll let it measure my laps around the buffet. He's tremendous.
Carr just went over 100 yards. Took him that long to get to 3 figures through the air and a hole through the middle as Richard goes through that one up to the 34-yard line.
And now they get back to the running game as long as they stay in that 2-safety look. And the one thing that you notice with this no huddle, the only other time they did it, a 92-yard drive right before the half. Since then, the longest 26 yards, their longest drive.
And that drive came after Derek Johnson went out of the game, but they've been able to adjust despite missing their middle or one of their inside linebackers as Richard takes the ball up to the 37-yard line to make it 3rd down and 2.
And they've been much more balanced in their running game. They run more to the right tonight than we've seen. That typically, with Osimile in there, they're more than happy to just power it off that left side.
Come up in a pistol, put Murray back in the game. Pretty big 3rd down here for these guys. And he gets very close to the 1st down. Head linesman comes in, appears to have it.
Tackled by Justin Houston.
Right on the yellow line. Checking it out, 1st down.
Justin Houston had a chance at him here, just got a little bit off balance, and give credit to Murray for powering through one of the better tacklers in the game.
So that gives Murray 100 yards. That's big. Well, I tell you, they did not need a 9th punt from King at this point in the game.
Menelik Watson in as the extra offensive lineman there.
And Carr looks back and he's going to take a timeout. Timeout, Raiders. Tomorrow 9 p.m. Eastern, NFL Network from Heisman Trophy winner to lockdown defender. The football line, Charles Woodson in the spotlight tomorrow night, 9 o'clock on NFL Network. So after the timeout from the 39. First down. Carr, deep drop, fires over the middle, and it's dropped. Crabtree, flag comes down though, and Steve Nelson says, what? And you saw Andy Reid coming into the shot as well. Right in front of the Chiefs bench, and Andy Reid giving the officials an earful.
Pass interference, defense, number 20, automatic 1st down.
The question is always, does he have a fair chance to catch the football? Does he jump on his back before the ball gets there? And I think the answer is yes. As the ball's coming in, he is moving his body forward with landing on the back. It's close, but I would say it had definitely an impact on his ability to catch the ball.
Receivers set to the left. Carr over the middle, and that's caught at the 40-yard line. Short gain, tight end is Walford, tackled by Wilson. 2nd down. 2nd down and 8. That's Crabtree, meanwhile. Crabtree came off, he was grasping his fingers or his hand, and they work on him, so one of their top receivers is on the sideline now. On 2nd down, let's call it 7 at the 40-yard line. Andre Holmes, number 18, takes Crabtree's spot. And they hand the ball off up the middle to Murray, taking it to the 35-yard line, setting up, all 3rd downs now become pretty critical. 3rd and 3 with 3:40 to go.
Yeah, and Andre Holmes is a big receiver. He's caught a couple of touchdowns already this year, but a 6'4" guy. So maybe if you want to throw a back shoulder or something up a little high, give him a chance to go get one.
3rd and 4. And Carr gets hit as he throws, and that's Justin Houston, who came in and hit his arm, sets up a 4th and 4. And the Raiders almost compelled to leave that offense out on the field.
Justin Houston, so good, smacking the hands away this time of Austin Howard. There he is. Get your hands off of me. Come around and make the play. So it is Justin Houston when the Chiefs needed it most.
Have to go for it here at 3:14. 4th and 4 from the 36-yard line.
Coverage at the bottom against the linebacker.
5 receivers. Pass caught underneath. Picked up the first down is Roberts to the 23-yard line. Seth Roberts. He's their number 3 wideout. But boy, he has made some huge catches this season.
Going to get a double pick coming across this way. You'll see other offensive players coming over here, just creating traffic lanes, trying to force Steven Nelson underneath, and it worked for a huge 4th down.
From the 23 now. Carr, that's incomplete. Richard off his hands. 2nd down with 2:40 to go.
It's funny how they just have not been able to take advantage of those running backs coming out. And I think that Derek Carr is sort of trying to direct traffic with the way that they're moving, and they just aren't moving the direction sometimes that he thinks that they will.
2nd and 10. A draw through the middle. Nice gain. 9 yards. That's the rookie Richard. He takes it to the 14-yard line. 12th play of the drive coming.
Well, it looks so easy because it is. I mean, there are only 5 guys in there to play the run, and you have 5 blockers. So when you see that as a quarterback, no matter what you have in, you just run the football. No more. Now 6 in there in the box.
3rd and 1. Carr lofting it to the end zone and one-handed away by Marcus Peters. Intended for Andre Holmes, and 1 second until the 2-minute warning.
Well, he's the guy, Marcus Peters. 8 takeaways on the year. Watch him get his head around and make the play. And that was the play of the night if they can make one here.
Well, here's the play of the night right now for Oakland. Crabtree is back in the game. The work out of the pistol. Final play before the 2-minute warning. 4th and 1. Oh man. Who moved? Oakland did.
False start. Offense number 77. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
Calls it on the tackle, Austin Howard.
Just a little flinch by Howard, then Gabe Jackson reacted. Right there is going to be the first flinch.
So back to the 19. 10 penalties tonight against Oakland, and it's 4th down and 6. Crowd stamping its feet. 4-man rush. Down the left sideline. Batted away, incomplete. Terrence Mitchell. Big night for him. Intended for Roberts. That takes us to the 2-minute warning and gives Kansas City the ball with 1:56 left in the 4th. All right after the game, stick around for the Volkswagen post-game report. Heather on the field interviewing the star of the game, coming up right after this contest. Kansas City cannot run the clock out. They can take it down to under a minute, though. Remember, Oakland had to use a timeout with about 4.5 minutes to go, so they have 2. And from the 19-yard line, they give the ball to Ware. And Ware with a nice little run here, and then that puts Oakland in a box. They got to take a timeout, but they also have to stop Kansas City from getting a first down. And for the moment, with Del Rio looking up at the clock, he figures he will save those 2 timeouts to see what happens after the second down play. But boy, you're taking it down to 110 right now before they have to snap it.
Well, one way or another, the clock had to run on one play of this series, so he just chose to take it there.
2nd and 2 from the 27-yard line. And this is where now they have to stop it with 1:07. And clearly what you have to do here, a first down would in effect end the game, and if you can stop it, then you take your timeout and you will get the ball back.
Well, what should have been a 4th down and 1 turned into a 4th down and 6, and instead of coming back to the crossing routes or the pick routes underneath, they try for the fade one more time. And give credit to Terrence Mitchell, who had to come into this game and start for Philip Gaines. I thought he was terrific for the most part all night.
3rd down and 2, the Kansas City 27-yard line.
He's done quite the job.
Thought he was terrific too.
Free agent. He was a free agent, 3rd year. Played his college ball at Oregon. Been all over the lot tonight. 67 seconds, but it comes down to this. Stop him, or Casey's going to get the win. And Ware is going to lunge forward. Does he pick up the first down?
He does. It's over.
They're going to measure. Kansas City thinks they have it. Did they stop the clock for a measurement or a timeout? They stopped it very, very quickly. So there's Ware backing. Where's that mark? Mark is going to be at the 29-yard line. And there you have it, folks. So the Kansas City Chiefs, who were down 3-0, score all 21 points in a second quarter burst, withstand 2 turnovers early in the 3rd quarter, leading to only 3 Oakland points, hold them off at the end, and the Chiefs will have the same record as the Raiders, 10-3, but will have won the season series and will go into first place in the AFC West.
Look at that. 1 win in last 44 years with a 3-0 turnover differential.
They're taking one more look at the spot. Nothing is challengeable inside 2 minutes. So New York just wants to take a look and make sure. And so McCauley will take a look himself under the hood.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. First down, Kansas City.
Well, that makes it official, just about. Unless they fumble, but don't count on it.
Very disappointing night tonight for the Oakland Raiders to have a 3-0 turnover advantage, to miss the opportunities they had in the passing game, and to simply not take advantage of the kind of game that Kansas City typically does not play. They don't make mistakes like they made tonight, and the Raiders unable to take advantage of it, and they find themselves dropping from a 1 seed to a 5 seed on one night in Kansas City.
Well, when you look at the numbers, Carr tonight threw 41 passes, 117 yards. That means the Raiders tonight averaged 2.85 yards per pass attempt. In a game in which a quarterback has thrown 40 more passes, that is the second lowest in the history of the NFL, topped only by, and I promised Brent Musburger one day I would get Jesse Palmer's name on the air. So Jesse was the guy with the Giants in 03 against Carolina, 2.6.
Jesse probably wishes you had not.
Yeah, but you know, what can I tell you? We're here to serve. We're trained journalists.
Congratulations to Andy Reid and the Chiefs. That was a monster win.
All 21 points, second quarter. You had a Hill run back. Smith got red hot. And all 21 points for KC came in 8 minutes and 26 seconds. Coming up next, folks.